Hello, and welcome back for another episode of Talking Politics. This episode is going to be a little bit longer than usual. Um, it's going to cover Trump's taxes and my thoughts on this and the stuff that I've learned basically over the years that I've been following this. This article is by TheHill, and it starts off with its headline. It says, Department of Justice memo on Trump's tax returns. Now, before I get started on this, what it's about is the Department of Justice under Biden, naturally, wants Trump's tax returns released. Now, let me get into this. I guess before we get into this, let me see. Over the years, what the fiasco about this has been is that past presidents have voluntarily released their tax returns and basically made them public. It has never been a requirement. However, that is something that they just did. It's not in the law that they are required to release their taxes. Now, when Trump was running for office, when he was a candidate, presidential candidate, he made a promise that he was going to release his taxes. Basically, following in the footsteps of like the past, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 presidents of releasing their taxes. I can't remember who started this. But anyways, eventually, Trump never did release his taxes. Now, promising you're going to release your taxes doesn't make it go into law. And also, it was never a requirement for him to release his taxes. So I'm starting to talk in circles now. So I am going to move on. I am going to read some of the stuff from TheHill. And it starts off with Department of Justice, DOJ, memo on Trump's tax returns. The Department of Justice on Friday released a memo finding that former President Trump's tax returns should be released to Congress amid a long-running fight over the information. The Department of Justice said the Democratic-led House Ways and Means Committee had invoked sufficient reasons for requesting Trump's tax information, and the Treasury Department must furnish the information to the committee. So what are those sufficient reasons? What are those sufficient reasons? Now, when it comes to, let's say, an investigation, a normal investigation, a police officer or somebody needs to have sufficient reasons to conduct a search. And in other words, they need probable cause to conduct an investigation or a search into, let's say, you. I'm going to use you for an example for a minute. That example might be, let's say you have a job in a position that I want. I want your job. You got the job, but I want it. So what my intentions are to try to get you fired from that job so I can take over. I'm going to try to make you look like garbage. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to try to find information on you evidence on you to try and destroy you. Okay? Let's say if I have a badge, a police officer or whatever, and I want to get into your house and conduct a search. Well, I need to go to a judge to get uh, a search warrant to get into your house and conduct a search, right? I do. So I need probable cause in order to get the search warrant to go into your house and see if you have done anything specific. The judge is going to ask me, what is your probable cause? I am going to be like, Your Honor, I don't have anything. Well, the judge is going to say, well, then get out of here if you don't have anything. But let's say I see you on the corner on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, and it looks to me like you are selling drugs. I see a person coming up to you. You're giving him a little baggie or something, and he's giving you cash and all that kind of stuff. And so now I have a person who's going to go over there and try to get some drugs off of you. He goes over and, hey, what you got, man? Oh, I got a dime bag. Really? Okay, awesome. So he gives that guy some money, and the guy gives some drugs to the undercover cop. Well, that guy has probable cause now. So now he goes back to that judge and says, yeah, we bought some drugs from this guy. Can I get a search warrant to go into his house? The judge will probably sign it. You go into the house, you conduct your search, you find more drugs, you charge him with it. Now that's what probable cause can do for you. In this situation, the House Ways and Means Committee says they have sufficient reasons to look at Trump's taxes. Now the thing is, the reason why they really want to look at Trump's taxes is they want to see if there's any criminal activity in there. There's no probable cause for them to do this, but the Democrats want to destroy Trump. They wanted Trump to release his taxes, and then let's say he did release his taxes for, let's say, 20 years. Okay, the Democrats are going to, make a big deal out of it. Oh my God, look at all this. Oh my God, this is going to take years for us to go over. Oh my God, this is horrible. Oh my God, we need more information. Oh my God, they're going to. And then we need to do more. We need more information. You see, they're not going to look at it and say, oh, okay, yeah, there's nothing here. Oh, okay, never mind, sorry. That's not what the Democrats are going to do. They want to find dirt on Trump. In a nutshell, that's all they want. They don't have a probable cause. Over here, in this article, it says, they have invoked sufficient reasons for requesting. They have not said. I read this article and I will post it so you can read further into it, but I'm not going to cover the entire thing. I'm going to cover this one part here, though. It says, when one of the congressional tax committees requests tax information pursuant to Section 6103F1 and has invoked facially, in other words, I've seen this, facially valid reasons for its request, the executive branch should conclude that the request lacks a legitimate legislative purpose only in exceptional circumstances. The chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee has invoked sufficient reason. It's saying they have a reason to request former President Trump's tax return information. Like I said, they just want to destroy Trump. That's all that is. That's all it is. So the rest of it, I'm not going to talk about the rest. You can read it, but there is no actual evidence to search Trump's taxes. Now, I will say this. Many months ago, or actually maybe a couple years ago, when the Democrats were trying to force Trump to release his taxes, I believe somehow there was some kind of a deal struck, I think, where a special committee or something like, maybe it was the House Ways and Means, I can't remember, but they was able to preview, they was able to look at Trump's taxes. And so they was able to take a look at Trump's taxes, but in the United States, the only person who can release taxes is the person who basically, I wouldn't say owns the taxes, but if that information was on you, only you could release your taxes. So when this committee, whoever it was, they were Democrats, when they reviewed Trump's taxes, they could not release his taxes, but they saw what they were. Afterwards, they tried to convince Trump to release his taxes. Again, they tried many times. Trump would not release them. Now, the Democrats try to go after many different sources. I think they went after the tax commission. They probably went after another 2, 3 people, organizations, and nobody could release them. Everybody said, only Trump can do that. We cannot do that, they basically said. Democrats were furious. They saw them, but they couldn't release them. Now, one of the things that they speculated was that Trump in the United States was in debt. And I bet he probably could have been. Billionaires, they lose money all the time. Anyways, so they speculated Trump was in debt. And when he tried to make some loans, get some loans here in the United States, he was turned down. That doesn't mean there's a crime committed. People get turned down from loans all the time. Okay? So what he did was he went overseas. I think it was to a bank in Germany. And he managed to get a loan from this bank in Germany. Still, that is not a crime. Getting a loan from another organization is not a crime. Okay? It was a legitimate bank. He opened a legitimate account, I guess you could say. And he legitimately borrowed money from that bank. Now, what the Democrats contend or say is that this bank was known for conducting business with a different party or organization or something like that. It had criminal activity that it was involved with another organization. There is no evidence that Trump was involved with that criminal activity. If there is evidence, nothing was ever said about it. But because Trump was doing business with this bank that was involved with other criminals, I think it was a money laundering thing or something like that with those other criminals, somehow the Democrats think that Trump did something wrong. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't involve Trump. Everybody that had a bank account, whether it be thousands or millions of people that had a bank account, with that bank, everybody doesn't go to prison. The only problem here is that Trump was a Republican. That's the problem. And they wanted to have a political reason to discredit and destroy Trump. He is a powerful opponent to the Democrats, and they need dirt in order to destroy Trump. In order to get that dirt, they have to find a reason. So, because Trump promised his taxes, to release his taxes, and did not do it, the Democrats think there is something there. There's no evidence that there is something there. But they want to search. They want to search every single nook and cranny everywhere to see if they can find dirt on Trump. They don't have probable cause. They don't have any evidence. But that is what they want to do to see if they can criticize Trump. So far, all they have to do is complain. Now, see, the Democrats will say that when Trump was in office, he had people in there, in, let's say the Department of Justice, William Barr, and all these other people, the tax commission, and all that kind of stuff. Everybody was under Trump's control, and they want to pretend that Trump was hiding information. And now that the Democrats have their people in control, all of the Democrats have yes men under their control. So this Department of Justice guy, when he is saying there's a legitimate reason and he thinks that it needs to be released and all that stuff, that's his personal opinion because he is working for the Democrats who want to destroy a political opponent, being Trump. Now, it's already noted that Trump is thinking about running for office in 2024. And he has my vote if he does that. The Democrats understand that Trump is such a high-powered figure that the only thing the Democrats can do is to try to find dirt on Trump and try to destroy his political stout, his political power, however you want to put it. They need dirt on Trump. If they can, they'll probably try to lock him up and arrest him. Now the thing is, the Democrats have used so many tactics over the years. Can the Democrats actually be trusted? Are they dirty enough to make something up, or are they good enough to see if there is nothing there for them to back off? Most likely, I am willing to bet everything that they will make something up in order to destroy Trump. They want to wipe him off the face of the earth, destroy his name, destroy everything that Trump is worth. Destroy all his money, everything. And the best way they can do that is to try to make him look horrible and make sure he cannot run for office ever again.